What you are listening to now is the Central Indiana Sports Report podcast number 350.1, the Pacers Report with Mike Rich and Will Retherford. This week talking about Caitlin Cooper's conversation with Rick Carlisle and the importance of Ben Mathurin and Jarris Walker coming up next season, plus tons of disagreements. It's hard to believe with Will being here that we have some disagreements, and tons of laughs and lots of other stuff. Enjoy.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengelt.
Welcome, Pacers fans, to the Central Indiana Sports Report. I'm your host, Greg Mengelt, out here at the Elwood Golf Course on Tuesdays, talking some Indiana Pacers with our Pacers guy, Mike Rich, and Will Rutherford of the Will Rutherford Show. Not a lot of news going on, but our favorite podcaster, Caitlin Cooper, had Coach Rick Carlisle on her podcast, and he had a lot of interesting things to say, so we wanted to have a Pacers report this week, despite really no Pacers news.
No, I mean, there was news. He was kind of rather candid about, basically, questions she asked, he did not really deflect at all. He answered everything, pretty much straight up. So, I think that there's a lot to dissect as far as what next year looks like from what he talked about.
Yeah, I'm super excited about next year and see how things turn out. I think he called it random play, and he really focused on that. And
it's really the best way to play basketball.
Yeah, and we're definitely going to be random next year. We don't know who's really going to be playing. We think Mathurin will probably hit the starting lineup from what it sounded like.
Apparently we know.
Yeah.
Lineup.
It's his to lose, I think is what Carlisle said. Is he's called him and told him it's your position to lose that number 2 spot.
But last year and the year before were kind of his position to lose to, and he lost it. This year seems to be different. He was spectacular in Game 7 of the finals, almost by himself, tried to bring the team back, he and TJ McConnell. A guy who can really score, and without Halliburton, probably becomes the focus of your offense, don't you think, Mike?
I think they do have to have a focus on Mathurin because he can create his own shot, and him with Siakam and TJ McConnell and Nembhard, I think they're going to need him to step up.
But Mathurin's probably the only potential elite scorer of the bunch, right?
On a consistent basis, yeah, I think he could be.
I guess it's what you define as elite scorer. I would say as far as just ethical getting buckets, Siakam is up there with some of the best bucket getters in the league from all 3 levels.
Good point.
Mathurin can be that without question. He has to be that. And I would like to push back. I think it's been a little less of Mathurin losing the job and Nembhard just kind of taking the job and Nesmith just kind of taking a job. It's like they played so well that it just was. And I think with the way the rotation was last year, it made sense to have been off the bench.
Totally
I think it made sense. It's not to say that he's.
It was a little odd, though, in the finals that he was some games playing 9 minutes, 14 minutes.
He was a defensive liability. They needed defense. They needed to have Nesmith and not McConnell necessarily as much. They needed Nembhard and Nesmith to be on the floor as much as possible defensively, and he just kind of saw his way out. He's not a good defensive player, really, for at any capacity. He's not really a good off-ball, on-ball.
What he is a scorer.
He's a scorer. He's just a pure bucket getter. That's kind of what he is.
And we're going to need somebody to get 25 points plus a game.
If I put the over-under at 21.5, what would you guys say?
Under. Slightly.
His average for the season, I'll say over.
I think over.
I think he'll be right around 20.
I think he could go 24. I think that he's going to be the focus of scoring the basketball, Nimhard's going to be the focus of the offense. But as far as being an elite scorer, I think it's going to be a lot of Mather and a lot of Siakam.
It depends on how, Neesmith and Nimhard missed significant time both last year in the regular season. I think if they're healthy, that number could drop just a little bit, his average, just because by simple nature of they're going to get theirs as well. Like, you chalk up Nimhard and Neesmith for probably 24 a game between the two of them averaging. And if they're on, maybe Matherin just doesn't get as many shots, maybe 2 less shots a game where you see that average tick a little bit. But it also, the center is going to play a huge role as far as the scoring, I think, makeup, because depending on who it is, I mean, you might have to depend on Siakam and Matherin both for 22 to 24.
That's why I think it'd take the overs, because I think Isaiah Jackson's a whole different player than Miles Turner. He's not going to be shooting 3 points. You're taking somebody that's scoring 18 points a game from Miles Turner to probably somebody that's going to score 10 maybe. And so those shots are going to go somewhere else. So I'm hoping that they're going to Matherin. I'm hoping Jackson's rebounding and, pushing the ball back out to Matherin for a second shot.
Thank God he will not be standing out at the 3-point line.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I'm not convinced Jay Huff won't start. I think in the early going, I think there's a solid chance Jay Huff starts maybe the first 12 games, just getting Jackson's feet back underneath him after the Achilles injury. But you may not like to hear it, but I mean, I definitely think it's a possibility.
And Huff might take a chance at that starting role if he comes out those first 10 to 12 games.
Again, it'll be different next year. That might be what the offense calls for. Yeah. It's not what it called for last year, and I don't want to continue to slight Miles Turner, but you weren't here for the last one. Your thoughts right now about Miles Turner?
He's the enemy. Bottom line, I hope he becomes a friend in the future, and I hope he retires, and comes back to the Pacers in some capacity. I mean, he spent 10 solid years here.
Love him personally.
Oh, absolutely.
I hope he never wins a game in Milwaukee.
I was also not on the last one either. I will never fault him for going and getting his money. That's his generational wealth he just acquired again for his family. This is the last contract he's probably going to be able to cash in $100+ million. He went and got it. With that being said, it's a horrible signing by Milwaukee.
Ooh.
He's going to be the anchor that sinks them down the same way that he was the anchor that sunk the Pacers into not winning the NBA Finals. If there's an upgrade at center, I think the Pacers are flat out just a better team than the Thunder are. And Turner was a complete liability essentially that entire series. He couldn't have hit water if he fell out of a boat. I wasn't a huge Miles Turner fan when he was with the Pacers. I don't care that he went to the Bucks.
He's a great guy. We all love that he represented Indianapolis and Indiana well. Blah, blah, blah. Get him out of town.
I mean, his jersey's not going to get retired. He was good.
He was good.
He was good.
Very good at times.
He was good.
Yeah. And he might be better being in Milwaukee. I mean, he hurt Milwaukee.
With Giannis?
He hurt Milwaukee bad. I mean, I'm happy he went there. I think he cripples Milwaukee.
He does.
And I think that helps the Pacers in a down year I think we'll easily compete against Milwaukee.
I agree. I mean, he was just not somebody that I thought was like, oh my God, look at Miles Turner. I mean, how lucky are we to have Miles Turner? I look at Tyrese Halliburton and I say, how lucky are the Indiana Pacers to get to be his home? I mean, Turner was here for 10 years. They were okay. He was just okay. That's what he's always been. And now I hate that he's like taking on this heel persona and stuff. I mean, it was just something out of Triple H drawing something up in the WWE, where we have this heel turn for Miles Turner. It's like, you're not a heel, dude. Come on. Like, you're not.
Not a nicer guy in the NBA.
I mean, yeah, seriously, you're a baby face. Stay one. Like, you don't need to be like, oh, I'm the Pacers' enemy now. Like, acknowledge the time that you had with the Pacers.
Enemy now.
Oh, yeah,
acknowledge
absolutely.
the time that you had with them and say, hey, I had to do what's best for my family. I don't think the Pacers were that interested in signing him back anyway. Pritchard did a wonderful gamesmanship in saying that, Milwaukee told Turner, this is our offer, take it or it's off the table. great gamesmanship as far as getting the
I
fan base
don't think
behind
they
you.
ever
No,
had
I don't.
any interest in him
I don't
coming
either,
back.
and that's why it's business. At the end of the day, it's just business, and he went to what was the best fit, and he made a rival worse.
The only thing that explains the way things went down with him not even contacting them to try to outbid Milwaukee is because they made it clear they had no interest in him coming back. It would have been a bad move bringing him back.
And I mean, the last 8 years he's been on the trading block.
Yeah, I mean he
He was always rumored to be the one player that was going to be traded or packaged to be traded, if it was the Lakers or somewhere,
Because he's a good piece if you're the right team. That is not Milwaukee. All he does is get in the way of Giannis.
I mean, it was right that the Pacers chose Sabonis over Turner because I don't think they get Halliburton in return
No, they don't.
for Miles Turner. They got
get
it
the
for
Aaron Fox.
They
Which
got
is not
it
close.
for Domas, and that was awesome. It's just the way the business is run. I'm never going to fault Kevin Pritchard. I'm pretty much on his side no matter what he does. I think he's a brilliant executive.
Hasn't made a bad decision
in
yet.
any sport. I think he transcends just being a great GM in basketball. I think he's just a really good GM everywhere. This team is still going to compete for the playoffs. Their ceiling, I think, is the Eastern Conference Finals if everything goes right. They're probably not going to. Second round's realistic. I think they can win a round.
They can be a top 4 team in the East, I think, if things went perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, and I've listened to some of the other, with John on and stuff, and just other conversations, and it's like, we assume when we talk about the Pacers being like the 7th, 8th best team, it's like we're also assuming everything goes right with the Magic.
That's right.
Or everything goes right with these other franchises.
That's what I said. It's
like,
not going to go well for Atlanta, Orlando, Detroit, all of them.
It's not ever going to go perfect for anyone. I mean, we're another Paolo injury away from the Magic being non-existent again. Like, it's just that simple. Like,
And
when
there's
you're
still
that
things
good.
about the Magic that don't make sense.
Yeah, I mean, the Pacers. I mean, I'm sure. I don't know how Mike feels. I just think that this is still a playoff team.
Oh, I think this is a playoff team. I think we picked how many games they were going to win, and
That's right.
I think 44 to 48.
Yeah, I think it was 42 to 48. I said 48.
38.5 was the line, which was
Too low.
outrageously low. That feels like just easy money. But then again, I mean, Siakam goes down, and then all of a sudden
Nemhard goes out.
And then all of a sudden we're looking at like, okay, 38's probably where we want to be.
Who's going to be the number 1 pick? And that's too much. But still, they are a bad injury away from just not being able to compete.
Yep.
Which is why not signing Turner and leaving yourself that flexibility made sense. It makes total sense. I don't think they wanted Turner. I think they preferred the flexibility over Turner.
Yep, I agree.
And I think they want to control the locker room, and I think Carlisle's got the right personalities in there to keep the core of this team together. They play this whole year. They played for each other. They had each other's back. They rooted for each other. And I think that Halliburton's injured, but he's not out. I mean, he will be in that locker room. He will be at every game. He will be inspirational to that team, and he's the leader of those men. And it's shown in what he's done. He does in the community where he shows up. He shows up to all types of different events in Indianapolis. He's at Colts events, he's at the Fever events, and he's
unreal.
The G League.
Unlike anything I've ever seen.
Yeah, and you can tell it's genuine that they like each other, that they want to hang out outside of their professional jobs. I mean, LeBron James couldn't even go to Luka Doncic's signing like everybody else on the team. The two people that don't show up is LeBron and his son. I mean, what's that say to your team? I mean, Halliburton is that type of leader where he's going to be there for his team, and I think chemistry is, and the chemistry control that Carlisle has is just phenomenal.
We're lucky to have Halliburton. I think we're already talking about maybe the greatest Pacer of all time, and it's especially if he recovers from this. And we know that 27, 28, 29, the Pacers are going to win all those championships. We understand that. This coming season, though, how much of it hinges on Jarris Walker?
if we're betting on Jarris Walker being the reason this team's good, then boy, we're in for
But what
a
if
lot
he
of
is?
trouble. Then maybe they win 45 games instead of 44.
You're not seeing the potential that everyone
You're
else is seeing.
way higher on. I've been steadfast that I thought that he was a bad draft pick, and I just don't think he's going to end up being that good. I think he's going to end up being.
Tell him why he's wrong, Mike.
I like Jarris Walker. I think Jarris Walker could potentially, he could be somebody that puts us over that 45.
He could be the second best player on this team 2 years from now. I think that's how
There's
good
a lot
he
of
could
potential
be.
there.
No, there's not a snowball's chance in
You
hell.
realize he's still about to be a senior in college, right?
Awesome.
Okay.
There's also a lot
And
of
he's
guys.
shown a lot of promise, a lot of instincts, a lot of basketball IQ. He passes. He's incredible passer.
And he's somebody else that can bring the ball
And
up
he
the
plays
court,
defense.
And he plays defense.
Handles the ball.
He
There's a
handles
lot
the
that
ball.
this guy can do.
He rebounds.
Potential elite defender.
I hope he turns into like Ron Artest. We'll see. That's what I hope. I hope that's what he is. I thought when they did the Siakam trade, it made Jarris slightly redundant because I kind of filled Jarris's role with Siakam, which I think right now I'm still taking Pascal the next 4 years over. I'm taking over Walker for the next 4 years. So I still don't feel like in retrospect he'll be a good trade piece.
I'm pulling this.
He'll get you something back.
I'm pulling this for when he's in the All-Star game 2 years from now.
You say Walker's in the All-Star game, and
I'm not predicting it, but
I hope he's in the All-Star game next year if he's going to be a piece that's going.
He's going to be coming off the bench next year.
He is yet to prove me right. So until that happens, I have to still go with what I've said the whole time, which is that he is a role player at best, and you hope that he gets better than that.
Of our prospects that are sitting on the bench, he's got to be the best.
What about Johnny Furphy? Are you off on
Oh my
Johnny
God!
Furphy?
Stop.
Are you off?
I
Johnny
love Johnny Furphy.
Okay,
I want Johnny Furphy.
Here's
to
my.
be great.
I guess here would be my slight rebuttal to the Walker love. Okay, at this point, you already saw way more from Mathern and Nembhard as far as what their future was than you see from Jarris Walker.
Mathern also spent 3 years in college. Nembhard spent 4 years in college.
But
Walker's not even that age that they were drafted yet.
it's still
He's raw.
he's Anthony Richardson. There's two ways it goes. It's either going to be
absolutely.
I just tend to think that it's going to be the other way.
He's got the instincts, man. I
He
think
tears
he's got
up-
that it.
and he tears up the G League.
I mean, that's great. Bronny tears up the G League.
No, he
too.
doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he
No,
would
he
average like
doesn't.
20 a game that last
nah,
half
man.
of the season.
If you only listen to one Pacers podcast, make sure that it's the Pacers Report with Mike Rich. Actually, no. If you only listen to one Pacers podcast, listen to Caitlin Cooper's. She is that good. If you listen to two, then listen to the Pacers Report with Mike Rich.
I would
Because
like,
she is that good, right?
I mean, if you want just basketball nerd out, sure. But if you want entertainment and like listening and being like, not having to like get your calculus.
Yeah, I'm a basketball nerd though, so her podcast just does it for me.
It's a niche that people in Indiana love because this is a basketball adoring state that love to break down the ins and outs, the X's and O's of the game. I mean, I think it's. But with that being said, there's also, it's not the most entertaining. It's not one of those things that you have in the background and
She's not going to laugh as much as
chuckling.
we are. She and Samson don't laugh as much as we
You're
do.
going to turn it on and it's going to be like having like Swan Lake on behind where it's like, this is nice, but it could be better. I could have Pitbull on behind me. And
We're Pitbull. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we are Pitbull, and that's what we want to be. We want to be entertaining.
Can we be Outcast instead of Pitbull?
I mean, you want to talk about one of the greatest and most influential rap groups of all time? Sure, I would love.
We're the Outcast of podcasting.
Andre 3000.
My baby don't mess. Big Boy's better than Andre. Come on.
Yeah, now you're just once again just Greg Mingelt talking completely out of his ass.
So fresh and so clean. Thanks, everybody. Thanks so much to Mike Rich and Will Rutherford for joining me, and to you for listening. We have a Pacers report every week during the season. It'll probably be a while before we have another one now because Just not a lot of Pacers news until October. But anytime anything happens, you can count on Mike and Will and I talking about it. And probably some others as well. We got a big, knowledgeable crew. Anyway, please share this podcast with a Pacers fan in your life and help spread the word that the Central Indiana Sports Report is here talking about Central Indiana sports every single day.
It's been challenging. He's going to have to get it in. He's having trouble. Gets it to Reggie for three. Throws it to Ewing. Ewing surrounded. 2 seconds to shoot. He tries. He shoots. He missed. He missed. He missed. We win the field, baby. Ding dong. The witch is dead. And we're going to Disney World. He's in the lane. He nearly lost it. He backs up and unloads a three. Oh! That did not happen. It hit the back of the rim. It popped high into the air. And it dropped gently through the net.
In 49 states, it's just basketball, but this is Indiana.
The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media. And I love Susie.